Morning settles over Kanto's rivers. Three Pokémon share these freshwater paths. They live in the same currents, shaped by the same conditions, but survive in very different ways. This is their story. Squirtle, Psyduck and Poliwag live along Kanto's slow-moving rivers. Some areas are shallow and exposed, others are deeper and protected. The water shapes different survival strategies. Each Pokémon depends on the same river, but they do not survive it in the same way. At a shallow bend in the river, Squirtle surfaces slowly. Only the curve of its shell appears at first, breaking the water without a sound. After a pause, it climbs onto the muddy bank, water streaming off its back in thin lines. Squirtle moves carefully here. The river never leaves its awareness. Every step along the edge is measured, each pause long enough to listen. It digs briefly through soft mud, pulling free small plants and insects washed ashore overnight. The open bank is exposed. Squirtle does not linger. When ripples form nearby or shadows shift, it turns immediately, sliding back into the shallows where its body disappears beneath the surface. Squirtle lives between two worlds. Land offers food and warmth. Water offers escape. Its survival depends on knowing exactly when to leave one for the other. Further upstream, Psyduck stands among tall reeds, one foot submerged in the current. Its posture appears idle, almost absent, but it remains alert. Light reflects sharply off the river surface, and Psyduck lowers its head slightly, unmoving. It waits longer than most creatures would. Then, without warning, it lunges forward, snapping up a small fish or insect before freezing again in place. Between movements, Psyduck presses a hand to its head, standing quietly as the water flows around its legs. When the glare becomes too strong, Psyduck lowers itself further into the water, letting the current absorb some of the strain before rising again. Downstream, a wide pool holds a cluster of Poliwag. They move together, bodies drifting in loose formation as tails flick in smooth, synchronized waves. Poliwag rarely separate. Alone, they are vulnerable. Together, they feed along the gravel slope, scraping algae and microscopic life from stone. When the current shifts or pressure changes, the group responds instantly. The formation tightens. Movement redirects. A heavier disturbance passes through the water nearby, bending the surface before vanishing. The Poliwag slip down slope as one, retreating toward deeper water where light weakens and danger fades. Their safety is not speed or strength, but coordination. As the sun climbs higher, the river changes. Morning mist lifts from the surface, and light sharpens into bright fragments that dance across moving water. The current quickens in shallow stretches, while deeper channels remain dark and steady. Heat builds unevenly, pushing each Pokémon into motion in its own way. Along the riverbank, Squirtle stays close to cover. It surfaces briefly near reeds, shell breaking the water in slow arcs before settling again at the edge. Feeding happens quickly. A few mouthfuls pulled from mud or drifting plants, then retreat. The open river is never trusted for long. Squirtle watches the surface constantly, slipping back beneath it whenever shadows stretch or ripples move against the current. Its strength lies in knowing where safety ends. Midday light brings opportunity, but also exposure. Squirtle survives by remaining difficult to notice, vanishing before attention can settle. Further upstream, Psyduck holds a position in calmer water. The glare off the surface grows stronger, and Psyduck lowers itself deeper, letting the current move gently around its body. Waiting becomes the work. When Psyduck feeds, it does so suddenly. A quick lunge, a snap, then stillness again. One hand presses briefly against its head before dropping back to its side. The river offers relief, but only in balance. Too much light, too much noise, or too much flow disrupts Psyduck's rhythm, so it remains half submerged, choosing moments carefully, conserving energy where others would waste it. Downstream, the Poliwag group becomes more active as the water warms. The group spreads slightly, feeding in coordinated bursts before drawing together again. Tails flash beneath the surface as they change direction in unison. When the current shifts unexpectedly, the formation tightens. A deeper channel offers protection, and the group slides downslope together, light fading as depth increases. Here, survival is collective. Movement remains constant but never chaotic. Each Poliwag reacts to the others, trusting the group to respond faster than any individual could. By early afternoon, the contrast is clear. Squirtle survives through retreat and concealment. Psyduck survives through stillness and control. Poliwag survive through coordination and depth. They share the same river, shaped by the same current and light. Yet each life follows a different path through the water, supported not by dominance but by difference. Late afternoon settles over the river. The current shifts, pressing different paths into the same narrow stretch of water. Where the river narrows into a connecting channel, space compresses. Roots break through the bank, stones rise just beneath the surface. This is not a place of comfort, but it is a place of passage. For a short time, different lives drift into the same frame. Squirtle arrives first, holding close to the bank. Its shell breaks the surface briefly before settling just beneath it. From here, Squirtle watches without moving. Any change in the channel is felt immediately. Further back from the water's edge, Psyduck stands in shallow flow. Its attention remains fixed on the darker channel ahead. One hand rests briefly against its head. Psyduck does not move unless it must. The Poliwag group passes through last. They enter together, bodies aligned, tails beating in soft rhythm beneath the surface. As the channel narrows, the formation tightens, movement slows, but cohesion holds. There is no interaction, no signal, no challenge, only awareness. Squirtle sinks lower, vanishing into shadow. Psyduck steps aside. Poliwag slip through the channel as one body. For a brief moment, different survival paths occupy the same corridor. Then the channel opens again. Squirtle returns to the bank. Psyduck remains in calmer water. Poliwag drift downstream together. The river allows overlap, and just as easily it pulls them apart. As evening returns, the river falls quiet. Wind fades. Clouds drift east, and the water settles into a slow rhythm once more. Squirtle crawls ashore to rest on a warm stone. Psyduck lowers into calmer water, easing its headache as darkness softens sound. Poliwag drift into deeper pools, their cluster tightening for warmth and protection. This river is not a place of conflict, but a system shaped by flow, pressure, and shelter. Each life adjusts differently, through shell, instinct, or group movement. Night settles along the banks. Currents hush. Beneath moonlight, separate lives remain bound by the same water.